Welcome to Bike Maintenance in your classroom with Waterford Sports Partnership, Altitude and also Bike Week. Now check out how to change your front tyre for your two different braking mechanisms.
Okay, so now we're going to show you how to take off a front wheel from a bike with the V-brake system. So the first thing we do is we want to release the brakes. So we squeeze the two V-brakes together, unclip this little lead pipe. The brakes have now come apart, and that allows us to drop the tyre through without rubbing off the brakes as the tyre drops out of the frame. Next thing we do, we open the lever. The wheel still can't fall through, but most modern bikes have a safety catch that won't leave the wheel fall out. So we have to unscrew the far off side 4 or 5 turns, and now the wheel will come through the frame. And so to put the wheel back on, we're keeping the bike nice and upright. The wheel is nice and straight. I roll the wheel back into the fork, and I'm lining up the forks to drop down back over the axle. That's nice and straight. I hold this lever and I tighten this guy a few turns until this lever on this side, the locking side, closes with a little bit of resistance. Nothing there yet. Another couple of turns on the far side. That closes with a little bit of force, and that's the lever and the wheel closed back in. And now the next thing we do is we want to close back in the brake system. So just pop the little lead pipe into the little recess. There we go. And those brakes are back working again. Okay, so now we're going to remove the front wheel off a bike with the disc brake system. So open the lever like we've done with the other systems. Again, we must go to the far side and unthread the small little skewer head 4 or 5 revolutions, and now the wheel will just drop straight through, and that's off. Putting the wheel back on is fairly straightforward. You're rolling the wheel in, keeping the wheel on the floor, rolling the wheel in, and leaving the forks line up on the axle, but also the disc rotor must line up into the caliper as well. So they both self-align at the same time. It just means you've got to keep everything nice and straight. The wheel is straight and the frame is straight, and they'll both line themselves up. And then we go back and we just close this little lever. Again, not enough resistance, too easy. Another couple of turns on this side until that lever closes with that little bit of force. Just make sure it's closed nice and firm, and that's it. That's that brake system redone. The only small trick to learn with the disc brake system is when the wheel is removed, try not to pull the brake system with the wheel gone, because the discs have nothing to rebound off of and they're liable to close back in, and had to close in if the lever is pulled with the wheel not in place. If that does happen, a flat screwdriver, gently prise them back open and they will come back out again as they should.
Pick a partner, see what your braking mechanism on that bike, and change that front wheel. Best of luck. Now Dave will go through how to change your rear wheel effectively.
So for the back wheel, it's a lot of the same process as the front. We're going to release the brakes as we did earlier on the front wheel. The next step we do, and it's an important one, is we must drop the bike into the smallest cog on the back wheel. So change gears a few times until the chain drops onto the smallest or the hardest gear on the back. That's what is in there now. And now we can open the lever. With the back wheel, there's no need to unscrew the far off side. Once I open that lever, this wheel will now just drop straight out. Okay, and now to put this wheel back on, again, keep the bike nice and straight, keep the tyre nice and upright, roll the wheel in. The chain must go under, the bottom part of the chain must go under the cassette, and the top part must rest on the cog that we used to take it off. So it must go back onto the smallest one on the back. And then that's our template for the gears to fall back into place. And then we close the lever and that's back working again. Parts, like earlier, we just want to bring the two brake pieces together and rehook in our little lead pipe, and our back brakes are now reconnected.
Again, pick a partner, change that rear wheel, see how efficiently and effectively you can do it,